idea that we had 5 years ago was that we have wonderful museums and museum shops, and we have a choice. We can do traditional approaches, which are museum reproductions and paper products, or we could dedicate our museum shops to creating linkages between museum visitors and the creative people in New Mexico. And that's what we decided to do. Was at that time then we developed this idea of New Mexico Creates, where we would feature the work of our artists and artisans and authors in New Mexico in our museum shops. So when we started, we were buying directly from artists around $325,000 a year, and now we're buying, last year it was $1.1 million. And so this shop reflects the evolution of that idea, because here 100%, everything you see here is made in New Mexico, and most of the books are authored by New Mexicans, because we have hundreds of great authors in this state. And so this store, and we have another museum store over in the Palace of the Governors that features the work of the New Mexican authors. We also have a New Mexico Women's Author Book Festival, in which we feature the work of women authors from New Mexico. So the expression of New Mexico Creates is broadening all the time in terms of how can we create more markets, but at the same time our profits benefit, since we're a non-profit, but our goal is to make a profit, and then we can turn around and use that to support our museums.
The focus, by the very nature of licensing, because you are only receiving a percentage of the net wholesale, we need to partner with national manufacturers. Whenever possible, we work with local, but part of it's just the math. You have to partner with somebody who's got a pretty big percentage of the market share. But what makes our program interesting and I think really valuable is it's a way to bring national attention to the artistic traditions that live here. But again, because we have to develop products for national markets, we really try and interpret them in contemporary ways. And I think if some people our designers come to look at our archives and think, well, I sell all over the world, nobody's going to be interested in Native American design. But that's not true. At its root, it is very, very contemporary design. And if you look at design traditions across the world, there are enormous similarities between cultures in terms of design iconography. I think what happens to be different is ours is a living tradition.
Like Acoma, which is where you might be going by on your way west. So there's a whole variety of work from different tribal communities all throughout New Mexico, as well as weaving. The Navajos have a traditional of weaving. There's a sheep tradition, and we have incredible sculptors here. So again, this is from the Jemez Pueblo. We have 22 different tribes in New Mexico. So in terms of Native American work, you'll see a lot of beautiful sculpture as well here. And then you have the traditional Hispanic work, tin work. So you see a lot of traditional tin work, but this is a very famous artist, Charlie Carrillo, Retablos. Again, goes back to the Hispanic traditions and religious traditions.